Yeah, obviously had a good start to the season. A couple of free kicks and some good performances, and yeah, just happy to be back in the squad, and obviously we're prepping now for two massive games, and I think there's 22 lads that are ready to play, and it's just about showing a bit in training now over the next few days, taking on all the information and prepping for Saturday.
With Robbie missing, Hamer's got to decide, does he play at left back or further forward as he has been doing. What do you think he's going to do?
I don't know. I'm happy with either, just to be on the pitch. But no, it's for me. Obviously playing a bit further forward in the last few camps. I've really enjoyed. Sort of just gives, I suppose, another option for me to get on the pitch and gives the manager, something else that he can do with me. Obviously, missing Robbie is a big miss for us because he's done so well over the last few years. But yeah, like I said, I'm just ready to be in contention and hopefully playing.
Do you think you might be on set piece duty? I mean, who's the nominated penalty taker at the moment, for example?
I don't know. I'm not too sure about penalties. For free kicks, I'll put my hand up for. Free kicks have obviously been fortunate enough to score a couple over the last few weeks. So confidence is pretty high at the minute. So hopefully we get something within shooting range on Saturday.
Have you changed your technique or anything in regard to free kicks?
Not really. I was just messing about in training one day and just tried something different and sort of found, I suppose, that liking it a little bit to golf, you sort of find something that just works and you sort of go with it, and I've been doing that. So I don't want to speak too much on it in case I lose it again. But it's just repetition, just putting the walls up in training and just doing them over and over again, and then a bit of luck on the day that they go in.
Lucky.
Thank you.
Ryan, you mentioned the free kicks and the good start to the season. It must be great to go into one of these camps with a smile on your face in that kind of, on a personal level, in that kind of form.
Yeah, I mean, when you come away with the international team, it's such a short window in terms of how long we're together before the game start that you probably have to carry a lot of form from your club into it. So obviously we've got a lot of competition at Southampton at the minute. We've had a lot of change over the summer, and I'm just delighted to sort of got back in the team there and had a good positive start with getting a couple of goals and having a few goal contributions, but which is obviously nice coming into this camp now.
You mentioned the free kicks there. We've seen that on the pitch. How's free kicks been here the last few days?
I don't know. It's the windiest training ground ever out there, so it's been tough. But no, again, you just new balls that we play with here, so just repetition, practicing, getting used to what they feel like, and just sort of putting in the time.
Of course, the last time Ireland had a World Cup we're trying to qualify was 2002. Has it been too long since we played at a tournament like a World Cup?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've sort of had a tough few years with qualification campaigns. But I feel like the squad now, when you look at it, you've got 4 or 5 club captains within the squad. You've got a lot of people who have a lot of caps, good experienced Premier League players, Championship players. So the squad's probably in as good a place as it has been in the last few years. So I think now is probably the time that we need to sort of step up as a group and put in the performances to qualify and get to a tournament.
Cameron Keane, please.
Hi Ryan, you've emerged as a very important player for him here in the last few camps. Can you talk a little bit about what he asks from you from a technical, tactical standpoint and then the left side?
Yeah, to be honest, he's very clear in his information. It's sort of it doesn't really change game by game. It's sort of just a standard way that we play, and because we all play different ways at our clubs with different formations, different styles, it's very clear here now that it's something that we don't have to change each camp, and I think that's showing with the performances. Are sort of each camp are improving, the results have been improving, so it's just really clear in his information, and I think we're all starting to gel and get used to it now.
You performed a very important creative role for the team, especially in those Bulgaria games. Can you continue to do that from left back, or would that substantially change things if that's where you're going?
No, I think you still have that freedom as a fullback to be able to sort of influence the game going forward and sort of create chances. I think it's probably the way the modern game has gone. A fullback isn't as traditional as it used to be as a defender. Obviously, you've defending your job first and foremost, but a lot of stuff does come from sort of fullbacks underlapping or overlapping, and I think in any team that's important, getting crossed into the box, which is probably the most of chances and most goals are scored from doing that. So whether it's fullback or a little bit further forward, you still have that license to be able to influence things.
Owen, please.
Hey Ryan, It's 5 years since your debut. You probably weren't in. You were in and out of the squad a bit at times. What's it feel for you now to be an established member of this squad trying to get to the World Cup?
Yeah, it's been brilliant. Like you said, yeah, sort of in and out at the beginning, and so when you're out of the squad for a little bit, after having a taste of it, you realise how good it is, important it is, and how much you value it. So to be back involved now and being able to contribute, how I want to contribute, it's been brilliant. Just relishing every opportunity you get. Obviously, we've got a massive campaign coming up with. There's only three short windows, and the World Cup campaign is finished. So I think it's important that we start really well now and sort of build on this, a few months coming up where I think these first 2 games are massive in terms of the momentum heading into that. So yeah, I'm delighted to be part of it and hopefully able to contribute.
Were you injured in pre-season, or did you have to win over Will still to get in the starting level?
I came away with the international team in the summer, so we came back, all the international lads came back a bit later, so it was sort of just catching up. Then obviously there's some players that had done well in the beginning pre-season, so for me it was just about getting fit, biding my time, waiting for the opportunity to show the manager what I can do, and thankfully I've managed to get myself back in.
Dan, please.
I see, Ryan, you turned 6 the last time Ireland were at a World Cup. Have any memories of that growing up in that time?
Believe it or not, I remember the penalty shootout against Spain.
Yeah.
I think the one we lost, I think when we went out. I think I was in my local pub with my family watching it. So, for us, it's we want to be able to create memories, like that, where in a World Cup campaign. I remember the Euro campaigns, and it's such a good time at home here in Ireland. So, like I said earlier, I think we definitely need to qualify for a major tournament now and sort of create some memories for sort of the younger generation.
Just going back to what Gavin said about maybe the creative role you've sometimes had, but does that bring you back to growing up when you actually did play in those number 10 positions? Yeah,
it does. It's nice to be a little bit further forward. I guess I was, even with the Irish 21s, I was still number 9, number 10. So yeah, there's always that part of me that sort of enjoys being that bit further forward. I've obviously had to adapt my game in recent years to sort of be able to build my career. So yeah, I relish every opportunity I can to go forward.
Andy, please.
Graham, what do you know about the Hungarians? Like, you've played against a few of them. Have you played with any?
Not sure if I've played with any of them, but we've definitely played against a few. We've obviously done a bit of analysis already this week, and you sort of see how they've got game changers, they've got some big players in their squad. So it'll be obviously a very tough game, but I think with the right preparation, we put a game plan together. I think we can get a result.
Ed.
Ryan, we just spoke with the manager. He referred to you as a potential match winner. What's it do for a player like yourself when you have the confidence of the manager, just in terms of how you carry yourself in training and going into games, just having that belief behind you? Yeah,
it's massive. I think for anyone having the sort of backing of the manager and him realising that you can potentially win a match is a massive help, and just probably allows you to just be able to prep properly for the game and relax, enjoy the environment. And I think that probably comes with it's my 5th or 6th season coming away with Ireland, and you sort of everyone, you're used to everyone, you're sort of one of the senior members of the squad, and then probably means you have to take on other roles and responsibilities in terms of new boys coming in and sort of hoping that they settle well, because it obviously is part of being a squad game, and we're going to need absolutely everyone. So I'm just relishing the opportunity to be a member of the team.
So thank you.
Mark.
Considering the start you've had this season, did a year in the Premier League last year change or improve you as a player?
Yeah, I think so. I think obviously I spent most of my career in the Championship. The step up, obviously, it was a tough season from a close perspective of results, but I think for myself to have played 25 or 26 games in the Premier League, gone up against the best players in the world every week, it can only help you and bring you on. Obviously we sort of stepped down to the Championship this year, but you sort of realise that the step up and the golfing class is quite big, and you want to get back there and test yourself again. So yeah, it probably has stood to me, just getting used to raising my levels and sort of trying to play at the Premier League standard.
John?
Yeah, just on that, Ryan, like raising your levels, like you were in the Premier League last year, but you played against the likes of Holland as you did. Is there a big gap, and is that going to be like that on Saturday against Hungary? You're playing against top of the likes?
Yeah, there's probably a big gap. Probably club level is probably a bigger gap, but that's probably to do with just the size of the clubs in the Premier League and financial fair play, all that sort of stuff. But I think on an international stage, we've got Premier League players in our squad, so I think it's different at international level. I think you have you don't play together as often, so it matters about how well you gel as a squad with the time you spend together. I think, like I said earlier, the manager here gives us such a clear way of playing that we're trying to become as much like a club side as we can, so that we all know what each other are doing. We're all used to playing alongside each other, and I think that's more important rather than having sort of individuals playing at different levels. I think you still need to be a good team at the end of the day.
Neil?
Ryan, as a fellow Galway man, can I ask you about Ollie Horgan? I think you captained an Irish school side managed by him, and you got a very credible 3-all draw against England. You'd like to come back. Can I ask you about your memories of playing under him and those days?
Yeah, it was awful news to hear during the week about Ollie. He brought me. I've spent some time in his car. He's bringing me to different schoolboy camps, and we had actually a brilliant campaign under him when I was doing my leaving cert. He was such a good character. Some funny stories. But yeah, he's obviously an incredible servant to Irish football, schoolboys and the League of Ireland. I know he'd be missed hugely at Galway United. I think he had such a good influence there. He worked with my brother for a few years, so it's obviously a huge loss for Irish football.
Mark, please.
Ryan, could you just ask about your manager club level? Well, obviously a lot of hype about him the way he came into the game and championship manager and that. Did you see the game a bit differently then because of his background?
Do you know what? He's obviously spent a lot of time in sort of European football, but he's been brilliant since he's come in. His style of football, the way he gets his messages across, his staff have come in. It's been really good for us. Obviously, the club was in a difficult place coming off the back of a tough year in the Premier League. We had lots of change. Even up to yesterday, we still have players coming in and out. But he's been brilliant. Such a clear message. Everyone knows where they stand on match day, what we're trying to do. We've had a bit of a tough start with some results, but I think over the course of the season, I think we'll be thereabouts up at the top end, because you can see already the way he sees it and the way he manages match days and the way he gets information across to us that he's a top manager.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.